Is there anything better than loading up a fresh Minecraft world and seeing that you're already inside of a village? Well, I guess if it happened to you 10 times in a row, that might be better, but that is exactly what I'm delivering with today's Seed Sunday. 10 amazing village spawns, one for every single type of village, and then maybe a couple of wildcards after that. And here's the great thing, this first seed is for those of you who hate typing in the digits for a seed. All you have to do is type in 58987, then as soon as the world generates, you'll find that you're inside of a village, except, oh no, it looks like I made a mistake. No, I didn't. This is the village spawn. It's kind of, you could argue, at the edge of a village, but there are houses on all sides of you besides over there. And it's also the stereotypical village. It's a plains village, so you got your wood, your cobblestone, you got your hay bales for food. It's a really great start to the game if you want that typical village spawn. It's also really nice because, as well as being generic from a Minecraft sense, it's generic from a real world sense because most civilizations historically have settled by rivers, and this civilization has done precisely that as well. So it's rivers that take you directly out to sea, and this is just the first seed. It's the very stereotypical one if you want a nice easy version of the village spawn, but maybe instead you'd prefer what happens when you type in the seed 256265 because you spawn into a very wonderful winter wonderland, complete with rabbit apparently, and what is that directly behind you? Yep, that is a snowy plains village. This is the least known about village because it is both the rarest type of village on Bedrock and it didn't exist on Java until 1.14. So you may have never seen one of these, especially if you haven't played in the last few years, but let me tell you why it's so amazing. And also, let me inform you that like most Seed Sundays, this will all work on both Java and Bedrock, but the exact village location will work best on Bedrock. So play Windows 10 Minecraft rather than Java Minecraft. You know, do we have to explain that? Anyway, so the wonderful thing about this type of village is you'll find all sorts of things that, you know, maybe are a little bit harder to find in a regular village. So there is a furnace at the spawn. There are 2 cauldrons in this house, because this is what the level workers look like here, where you can, by the way, buy some leather armor immediately. You can also just get some leather armor from the chest. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying it if you had the option. And yeah, this is just one of the many things they offer here. We've got lanterns, which are very easy to access. Just break the snow above them. We've got snow made of houses, by the way, which maybe you like. But most importantly, some houses are made of blue ice. This is a very important and valuable resource, especially for the late game. And you can have it right here at the start, alongside some coal, some snow, and some beetroot seeds. Isn't this everything you've ever wanted in life? It probably should be, because wow, look at all these beetroot crops. These villages have one big downside, and that actually is usually they have less farmable resources because it's all frozen away for the winter. Their water literally freezes over, but in this case, you can get yourself some lovely beetroot, which is easily Minecraft's best food. And if you're new to the game, I'm sorry for saying something that is very clearly not true, but still, you want to get yourself some beetroot, that means you can get some red dye right off the bat. Don't you want that? Okay, you want something a bit better? Maybe instead you prefer the next village. The seeds for the rest of these will be on screen, by the way, and it'll also be on screen, the coordinates in the top left if you want to find the village, but it's not very hard. You spawn at 0, 0, there's a golem just in front of you, just behind you there's a bunch of stuff. If you didn't find this village, I would be amazed at your ability to get lost. But you know what else I'd be amazed by? This village in and of itself. I like the colorful, types of beds that you find in a tiger village, but I also like this type of village because it's got the best loot in Minecraft. Seriously, the loot in this village is so good that every time I bring it up, people say, what's the point in playing Minecraft if you're just gonna get loot as good as is found in this chest? I actually don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be 2 iron swords and some bread. What's the point in playing Minecraft if you've got 2 iron swords and enough bread and apples to make multiple sandwiches, multiple apple sandwiches, I guess? There's absolutely no point whatsoever. You could immediately start going on a village rampage if you really wanted to, or you could, actually, isn't that kind of cool that you can do that? What's the golem gonna do about it? He can't see me. You can do anything you want in Minecraft when you spawn in a village, and that includes trading, that includes crafting, that includes going to sleep if you wait till night. I love the things that these villages have to offer. You can also write on signs, of course. Just make sure you don't say anything too explicit on your signs in the middle of your villager rampage, because that is a big no-no. We do know that we shouldn't do that, but yeah, you can go on a rampage if you want to. You can instead start trading with the villagers and be cooperative with them, but you know what? What's the point of playing a sandbox if you're going to actually make friends? Nope, I think you'll find the point of these iron swords is that the village has chosen murder, and turns out the villagers aren't very good at defending themselves. So yeah, this is a tiger village. It is one of my favorite types of villager spawns, and yeah, it also has a bunch of pumpkins everywhere, which isn't my favorite thing, but it might be your favorite thing. For real though, these are actually quite rare to find out and about in the wild, so having them be at your spawn is great, and having multiple blacksmith chests be here. Look at this, iron armor, as well as 2 iron swords, as well as what's in this chest. Oh, some more bread and gold and a saddle. You could saddle a horse near immediately on this seed. It's incredible, and that's before we talk about stone cutters and the fact that some of these chests contain wood in abundance. Look at that, free emeralds too. If you wanted to start trading with villagers, they're giving you the emeralds to do it, and where else can you say that's true? Well, maybe on the 4th seed of the day. This next seed will spawn you directly into a Mesa Biome, one of the most sought after biomes in Minecraft you can have at your spawn alongside, what is this? A village. So this is a desert village spawn because there are no Mesa villages, and so it's very lucky this spawns right at the edge of the Mesa. But let me tell you about why the desert village is, although it's not my personal favorite, it is still pretty good. One, you find cactuses everywhere. If you want to just take these, you totally can. Oh, that took a while to move. Second of all, I like the desert villages because what are you going to find near a desert? You're going to find potentially a lot of sugarcane, and so you can just start harvesting and farming sugarcane from the get-go. And you know what you can do with sugarcane? You can use it to make a cartography table, and what can you do with a cartography table? You can make a villager who will buy paper from you. You can literally sell sugarcane to villagers, which is one of my favorite types of farm, especially if you were to, say, go all the way up to sky height. But then on top of that, because you're in the desert, it's a very different type of village, and so the architecture is just so different here. Look how tall some of these buildings are, and there are chests at the top there. What's inside the chests? Probably nothing interesting, but let's go find out. As I was saying, probably nothing interesting, although some bread is quite nice. You also get some cactus and a green dye, which is kind of nice, I guess. And then you get the looming problem of what do you do now you've climbed all the way to the top? You better hope you can make it to that water down there, because I'm not taking the stairs down, damn it. Yeah, you can. you probably could if you were just slightly better at jumping. Anyway, so yeah, you'll also find a bunch of rabbits around. In my case, they're going to be raw and already murdered. Oh look, there's 2 over here, and that is something that a lot of people might value, spawning in a biome with rabbits, so you can get those rabbit feet that you'll need later, or these rabbit hides that you'll need whenever they one day add bundles. Either way, it's going to be something really, really good. And get this is not just a desert village at spawn, which has fewer crops than normal, but makes up for it with a bigger heart and whatever else, and the Mesa Biome, but also there is a desert well just over there. Isn't that incredible? You don't have to answer me. The answer is yes, that is incredible. Also, the Mesa Biome is a really weird one, so if you like weird seeds, this is good for you. If you want good seeds, on the other hand, this one is particularly great because it spawns you in a Savannah Village, and you can see, without me doing anything, the second I spawned in, I'm surrounded by not 1, not 2, 3 sources of food. Although you could argue wheat and hay bales are the same, but still, isn't that insane to be just surrounded by food when you spawn in? I guess there's a 4th type if you count the melon, and that is truly something incredible. There's also a little villager house which is tucked into the mountain over here. I love the way the mountain is kind of carved around to it, and yeah, this villager, I guess he doesn't even live here, but he doesn't know how lucky he is, so we're taking his bed as punishment, and we're going to show you around the rest of the village, because, oh my god, this is a weirdly shaped village, it seems. So yeah, some of the villages found here leading up to the mountain. Some of it is found up that mountain itself. In fact, that's a cartographer up there, a librarian up there, so if you can just give him your paper, you know what you can do? You can get yourself some emeralds. But if you want something a bit easier, you might instead prefer going down to the base over here. I recommend using a bed if you're going to be making such a jump. And from down here, you can find the iron golem of the village. You can find some iron ore, some coal, and most importantly, some villagers. Do you want to trade with villagers at this point if you're looking for the 5th village seed? Or do you just want to see weird stuff? Okay, you want to see weird stuff? Well, how about this one? This is a village which spawned partially into a river which partially goes into the ocean, and so it means there's this weird thing where there's just a bunch of acacia blocks making a bridge into the water here. It's very, very strange looking stuff if you ask me. Likewise is the fact that there's just kind of a few waterfalls where the crop water just keeps pouring down the mountain. Savannah villages tend to be best adapted to being in the mountains because this happens so often to them, and so if you want to have a mountain range near the spawn, as well as being in a village, as well as that village being made of the lovely acacia wood and some, is that terracotta? Yeah, it is terracotta. This is the place for you. But if for some reason that's not true, there's still one more type of village, there's still one more biome that villagers can spawn in, you might think. But you would assume wrong. So let me show you this seed where you spawn in water, and What is this? Did I type this incorrectly? This is crazy. I accidentally typed in the seed wrong, and somehow this seed happens to be, despite being entirely different, happens to be right next to a village as well. So that's a really cool coincidence. Also, look at the speed on that big salmon. This is a weird world. This is not where I'm meant to be. The next seed is actually meant to be this one right here. So this is the answer to that fun question, how many biomes can villagers spawn in? There are only 6 distinct types of villagers for 6 distinct types of biomes. However, you can find weird hybrids. So for instance, this is a taiga village, but it spawned in a snowy taiga. So a lot of the water sources are frozen, but you still find pumpkins. You still find access to that great, maybe even OP loot, some could say. You're still going to find access to all those things. And then on top of that, you're going to find differently colored villages. You're going to find icy, snowy covered everything. And you're going to have an extra use for these campfires scattered around the place, because now all of a sudden, they're going to keep you warm as well. I mean, that's a lie, because in Minecraft, there's absolutely no reason to need to stay warm. But once you've got your cooked potatoes and you want to leave this place, you can actually just craft a boat and head straight out onto the frozen river. This is such a fun thing if you've never done it before. Make a boat, slide around on this. Take my word for it. I don't want to show you here. I want this to be a surprise for you when you load up this seed, because it is one of the best things. If you've not done it somehow, this is the seed you need to load up and try that. And, you know, if you also like the seed enough to use it as a long-term world, maybe that's just the icing on the cake. Speaking of icing on cake, this next seed is another beautiful example of what a vista you get from spawn, by the way. Look at this. But you'll spawn inside of a meadows biome. This is actually very distinct from the plains, but despite being distinct from the plains, you'll still get the plains-style village houses and the plains-style villages. In fact, basically every biome variant that you can have villagers spawn in, even though they might look slightly different, in this case, I mean, look at that height difference. In this case, you can really take advantage of, the extra flowers, I guess. In reality, most of the things will be the same. You'll just have additional ways to execute villages, should you really want them. Although, we need a little bit of a bigger drop before we can call that a drop chamber. But still, it is really, really cool to me to have this vista as a spawn. This just absolute view over a birch forest, a taiga, a river, and a meadow. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, would I choose this seed for anything but the village? No. Would I choose this seed for the village? Also no. But do I think that this is a good thing to include in the video because people like to see visual spectacles above all else? Wow, you better believe that that's exactly what this seed is. I really like it. It's a nice village at spawn. And if you want to just pretend you've got a village that consists of one villager, up here, there's only one house that can actually be accessed. And I'm just saying, it's kind of cool. Also, you get a book. It looks like an ice cream sandwich if you look at it in just the wrong way. And don't you like looking at things in the wrong way? Wow, have you considered looking at the subscribe button the wrong way? Because if you do it, then you'll see more of my videos, which is good for me. And so I've got to convince you now it's good for you. And so if you do it, I will stop calling the slabs in Minecraft half slabs. I know that a half slab would be a quarter slab, but you know what? I will do it if we all just subscribe in sufficient volumes. Speaking of volumes, do you know what the noisiest plant in Minecraft is? Probably the sunflower. Look at their big, stupid face. Anyway, so this is a village that spawned in a sunflower plains. This is really, really wonderful for you if you want to get your hands on a bunch of sunflowers. Which, side note, have you ever questioned why a sunflower in your hand is just the circle, but you can place it down and the full plant just magically grows up? It does feel a little bit broken, but either way, this is one of those plants you can take with just your hands and take in its entirety, and if you want a whole biome full of them, they're pretty good. They also have one really interesting benefit, in my opinion, which is that because they're always looking towards where the sun rises, which is to the west, east, rises in the east and sets in the west, right? That's probably true. Anyway, because that's always happening, wait, let me test that. So north would be this way. No, wait, north is this way. Is the sun rising in the north? I guess it can't be that way. Okay, north is this way, which means the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. I'm going to Google that. Where does the sun rise from? Rises in the east and sets in the west. So if that's the east, that means this is north, which doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Anyway, because of the fact that in Minecraft, the sun always rises in the east, like in the real world, even if you're deep down below ground and you can't see the sun, as I can't from down here, all you got to do is place a sunflower and you'll know where east is. You can also keep track of your coordinates, but where's the fun in that when you can use a sunflower instead? That's right, Minecraft greenery has some real benefits for you and me. Ooh, that rhymed. Also, look at that. There's a, just over there, there is a pillager outpost next to a ruined portal. That's fun. You know, this is a seed not just for the village at spawn, but for the pillager outpost just over there. And also the big ocean, which is definitely unique to just this seed and isn't found everywhere else. But yeah, to be honest with you, this is a pretty cool place for a ruined portal. Kind of unique, you might be able to say. And this is a pillager outpost. That exists. There is no doubt about that. So, the final type of village you can spawn in is also, drumroll, a plains village, except this one has a little bit of cobwebs in there because they haven't dusted their village in a really long time. But there is actually a sick type of villager you might not know about. They're really friendly, but it's really hard to trade with them for some reason because every time you try, it seems as though they just give you this death stare. And in this type of villager is so aggressive about their bargaining that they'll even hit you if they feel like you have the wrong deal. Like, if I'm not giving him emeralds, why would he give me anything in return? And I agree. You know what? In this hyper-capitalist village, you shouldn't come unless you have access to emeralds, or maybe a splash potion of weakness and a golden apple. But in either case, yeah, this is a zombie village. This is incredibly rare on Bedrock now. This used to be so common. It used to be just a very normal sight. Now only 1 in 40 villagers will spawn as a zombie village, and it is surreal to be in one of these. And it's honestly, it has basically none of the benefits of spawning in a village besides the food, but it has the huge downside of having a bunch of zombies. But personally, I see that as potentially an upside, because hear me out here, you can get your hands on the carrots for golden carrots, some wheat to make some bread, then you get out of here and you only come back once you have the potions of weakness and you have the golden apples. Then you can cure this place, and when you cure a villager, they're so grateful, they give you super good value on trades. And so if you want to have a village filled with super good value trades, this is the place to be. They've already got their village houses, as you can see if you look carefully. He's already got a house. Just lock them inside of there. Place a block here maybe. I don't know why they don't come out to fight you. It's safe out here, trust me. Yeah, you want to start a fight? Yeah, you don't, do you? Anyway, so if you wanna make a village from scratch and then also have the opportunity to repair one, this is actually a really fun challenge. Can you fully repair a zombie village? And honestly, it's such a fun challenge, I think I want to do it myself. So, yeah, if you're watching this video, at some point soon I might try and repair a zombie village. What do you need? Like, you get some apples, so chop down a few oak trees. You get some gold, which, you know, that's not too impossible. Then you just need to brew some potions, and you can make a village. And then you could start repairing all the damage, and you could make it better. And then once you did that, it would look like a weird village because it's got so much mossy cobblestone in there. Yeah, this is a good idea. I like this. If you want to steal my idea and do it before me, I'll let you have it right now. But if you want to watch me do it, then maybe at some point soon that will happen. In either case, though, I hope you all enjoyed today's Seed Sunday. As you all know, I love to show off interesting Minecraft seeds. And if you like to see weird things about Minecraft, seed-wise or otherwise, then you can subscribe with notifications turned on to see more of these daily on your homepage. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And, I don't know, go to ibxtoycat.store if you want to get yourself some existential mugs, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Is there a space at the start, maybe? Did I just not type it in at all? That's the most likely outcome, is I just didn't type it in.